Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Gregtech Community Edition, not unofficial, modern. Wow, I don't know why that came out so quickly, but it seems that I'm working on a new computer. I ended up setting one over the weekend up, and this is going to be the first episode recorded with that new computer. I missed out on a bit of stuff that I was talking about. I'm glad I caught it early, because I did make this low voltage battery buffer. We made the ×8 specifically as for once we get to our electric blast furnace. 4 of that will need to go to the blast furnace out of the 8 output that it can take. So that is something that's kind of important to note. The other important thing, if we go into our battery buffer, is it will talk for every battery in it, it will handle 2 amps in and 1 amp out. So if you're worried about overloading your wires, you can put 1 battery in to begin with, or just a certain amount of batteries and then do less wire. As you know, that just works out that way for you, so that you don't have to put in so much. But the thing that I wanted to get to after this is, instead of going straight for the electric blast furnace, which it looks like we still need copper nickel coils. I don't know what this one has. Where's that at? Oh. So we gotta come and do this to get that. Got it. Well, we are trying to get this large boiler up and running. To get the large boiler, I just have to grab a couple more wires out that I put into our wire mill. And then we can come over. I guess I did build this one over here. We need one of these in the corner, and our circuit. So we got our large boiler block. That should finish that quest up. And then I guess we're going to get a bucket of steam. It's kind of interesting, but... and then this will start to talk about amps. And with this quest line, it serves as a quick guide to Gregtech amperage. As for voltage mechanics, we will go over that once you reach MV. For safety, match the amperage limit of your cables with the max amount of amps provided by your energy producers. The quest unlocks a new tutorial in the amperage in the tips and tricks tab. So let's look at that really quick, just to talk about, is it this one? That's beginner or process cables. Transporting EU is done via direct connection using wires or cables. Wires are the inferior option, as they will electrocute you and lose more energy as the electricity travels through the wire. So you want to use insulated cables. Keep in mind that you can't combine cables with thicker variants. So make sure you insulate the right thickness to avoid any headaches. Cable loss means you will have to stick your machines close to your generators, but that will only be a problem in the early game. If you peek through the quest book, you will eventually be able to obtain superconductors, sidestepping this issue. Keep in mind that Gregtech cables suffer from cable loss. Every block of cable that the EU package travels will increase or decrease its stored EU. For instance, traversing LV current along 6 cables, each with a loss of 5, will result in the package arriving to their destination with a mere 2 EU per tick. For this reason, you'll want to keep your cables short until you can start to consider better alternatives. Superconductors are special wires available for each voltage tier. They do not have any cable counterparts, but that isn't an issue, as they have absolutely zero cable loss. They will also don't damage you when you touch them. They are the best choice for the wiring at any tier, if not a little expensive in comparison to other wires. Gregtech 6 style cables are enabled. This means that placing cables will only connect them to the block they were placed against. To open more connections, use your wire cutter on the grid. cables now have native RF support. Okay, that's interesting. At a 4:1 ratio RF to EU. Not that you can produce RF in this pack. But it's interesting to know if you want to make your own mod pack. Okay. I think that's about all we really need about that. So, what we can do is we can look it up. Okay, so we need the firebucks on the bottom, and then I guess our inputs are on the bottom there too. So, we do want to make sure we have access to all those bottom panels. And I did dig out a spot right down here, because this is where I'd like to build it. So, we need to have the back, 1, 2, 3. I don't think I can go back any further without messing with some stuff. Which means... we'll do it. Although that digs way faster than I wanted to. Okay. Let's go ahead and pick these up again. We'll go down 1, down 2, 1, 2. Get that out of the way. Alright, it gives us enough space to work with. So we can go into the back here. 1, 2, 3. And then I guess 1 in the middle. Then we got a lot of our hatches. Let's look at this. Not that. Alright, so we've got casing on the bottom. Level 1, we got 4 of our hatches. And since I want easier access, we're going to put them all up front here, and I forgot to grab them all out. But I did make all the hatches that I needed as well. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is the input bus, so this is where our coal will come in. So we're going to place that right there. Output hatch, we want that there. Input hatch, we'll put that there. And we've got our muffler, which, let's look at this again. It's got the output on the second tier, so we'll do that. Output second tier facing this way. And then we can put our muffler, and we'll do it over here just so it's not pointed at us, because I believe that's like an exhaust piece almost. But then we put our maintenance hatch down. We'll put that down. And then I believe we leave the center empty. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we just fill in the top. Should be able to just break that piece back here. And then structure incomplete, it says. Why is that? Output. Oh, is this the issue of that I need to do this? that's right. I think I need to grab out like one of every tool or something. Still says structure's incomplete. Is there something I'm missing? Layer 1. Oh, you know what? That would be smart, wouldn't it? There's the other 2 pieces that gotta go inside. Yes? No? Alright, what have I done wrong? So we got the hatch, got the muffler, those 2 at the bottom. There we go, okay. So now that is in there. So we can modify the thrust. Let's go all the way down to 25. I think we'll then up it to 50. So now with that, let us... I need to wrench out, put all of the other tools away. I need to go see if I have any wooden pipes left somewhere. Which I thought I should definitely have some. Okay. So from here, punch a hole. In a much more direct manner. It's right there, probably would be the best way to bring it down. Down 1. 2, 3. 4. 5. 6, and then wrench it in. Make sure that up here it says down only on that one. Okay. Seeing as those will hopefully become obsolete pretty quickly, go ahead and pop that on in there. We are now going to need a way to pipe in and out of that. So I'm probably just going to take this thing off here. And we'll get another one up when we need to for charcoal again. But as of right now, this will probably suffice for our needs. Oh, I should probably go grab some sort of pipe. Let's look up item pipes again and see what kind of cheap item pipes we got. Item pipe. Looks like our best bet is probably just the tin. Especially since it really doesn't matter item size. So we'll just do the singular tin plate ones, as those are going to be nice and quick. Let's put those back and see what we can get over here out of this stuff. Put the last of our Religar into... There we have 10, 44. I don't think we'll need 44. Let's start with 20 of them. Go put the rest of this away. And while we're waiting for those to roll out, we can grab out... Oh, that's right. So now we can crush it. What are we doing? I think we just smash it with a hammer now. So come on over here, pop this in. And this will allow us to take that on over to our centrifuge. Mix it on up, and we'll get sulfur and arsenic is the other specific part that we're needing. So that'll finish up our gallium arsenic blend thing that we're looking for. Which, if I remember right, this is the one I needed to do in the other part. I guess I don't have the space for that. Kind of tired of trying to figure out more spaces for this stuff. Okay. Now, in the meantime, I think our pipes might be done. Or bender. Not quite. Close enough. We can start making them and placing them. That and our wrench. And I think I actually have a few on my backpack too. So, gonna need to backtrack to here. So let's go there. Go there. We can go across. By the way, just one thing, as I've said, with the possibility of it kind of being broken, it seems like either they accounted for it or Minecraft cauldrons are just a pain in the butt, as getting a system in place to take advantage of cauldrons is not easy. Somebody... I was watching somebody else's video to see if I could figure out how to do it, and essentially they were saying that, like, there's not a whole lot of ways to do it in modded Minecraft at all, and that even with Gregtech you kind of have to do this glitchy method to even get them to connect. So I don't know if it's going to happen. I'll take a couple more looks at it as we push further on, but I've tried using like one of those fluid pumps. I've tried, you know, a bunch of different things, and it just doesn't seem to work. But there we go. We're now generating steam out of here, which means we can go look at getting our potin. Oh, that's right. I was just going to make another tank valve. Tank valve requires a ring and a bronze rotor, so we can do that real quick. Can we do the bronze rotor in the solidifier? We can indeed. So let's go. Get what we need in that manner. I don't think I have any bronze on me, so let's go dump some stuff. Kind of just one's ring. There's the fan. And now we just need the wrench and the hammer, which I got both of those out still. So I think what we'll do, take that. If I could get out of here, that'd be great. Of course I picked the one spot it's not gonna work. And then the second spot, it's not gonna work. Okay. And then I think we can use a screwdriver to make it not auto output. I'm not entirely sure. Now, as these last ones are going to basically start becoming useless, I figure we could probably just use the pipes from them. Oh, where is potent? I have my potent pipe somewhere. In my other backpack, is that why? No. Am I out of all my potent pipes? I think I am. Which definitely makes me want to just yoink them. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 5. That's all 5 of those. And then we will just go ahead and get rid of all of this. Or we could even just change that over. I think that's what we'll do. Make it to where these are the bronze pipes again. And maybe not quite inputting into it. And we can drop on down and go 1, 2, 4. Where'd the wrench go? There it is. Those away. Put that together. And then the way to make this work properly, come right back up top and say only input. So I should only feed into it. And now we can come back on over, grab our bronze that we've been using, put away a bunch of pipes, put away those, especially because we want to keep burning that. Actually, I forgot. I am at a loss for what I was doing. Oh, I was making some... Actually, I don't even think we need those anymore. Although, it wouldn't hurt to do a couple of them. Do 5. Hopefully that's enough. And then I think we will only need 1 of these. However, before I put them back on, going to make sure it does not input. And we will do that one. Gotta get some water in there first. Double check our water on this one. How are we at? Full water. Full steam. Sweet. So now I can go 1, 4, 5. Make sure that it only goes in and up. Then, last of all, once that's done, that should work. Alright, so that is both of those set and done. I think I had one more thing to get into making. What was it? Oh, it was the arc furnace. So that's, I set that stuff up too. I don't know if I have the last, I might be missing a single thing. Let's go see it. Try to dump a bunch of this stuff off. Yeah. I am missing something. Oh, graphite dust. Do we even have a way to get that? There, we got the graphite dust. That was simple. That's kind of funny. Then I need 3 of these, and then I gotta figure out what it is that I need for the last of the... I guess I need 2 of these, and then it's what, 1? How do I make these again? I need some red alloy in there is what I need. So let's go ahead and grab this. Oh, it's a bit much. Because that's all we need. We need copper wires, we need steel bolts. Copper wires, steel bolts. And we gotta take the glue out of there. Do I have my universal cells on me? They don't have any that aren't occupied. And they're in the other backpack. Take out that red alloy, plop it in my extractor. And then we've got our lathes done. Pop that on here to make them into bolts. It takes a lot of time. We get twice as many bolts out, so that's much better to do. And then I need my copper wire. What was the recipe number? There is none. Bolts. Glass ampules. I leave those away? I totally did. There we go. Wait just a few more seconds for that. There's a bunch. We just need to do 8 more wires in total with that stuff, so let's drop off some charcoal. While we're waiting, we can grab out our arsenic and mix it with some of our gallium here. Where did it go? In the mixer with gallium with the number 1. And we'll get that for the last little bit, but now we should be able to grab out the last of what we need over here. We need a blank head with nothing in it. We need the boards. The boards are there. We need resistors. Those are in my inventory. We need the red alloy wires, and that should be it. And there's a bunch more. 3 more indeed. Oh, and then I forgot that I needed my wires. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 to make that arc furnace. Yep. So now we just gotta go. What happened to my steel plates? Did I use them somewhere? There's our gallium arside. I'm not entirely sure what happened. Okay, so it's the tier 4 is the first time you have to have 2 sheets. So did I throw them back in the chest here? Oh, tin. Yeah, I did. Okay, that's why. Now we've got the rest of what we need for an arc furnace. Now this is great, because once we place this thing down, we can then take all of our oxygen, plop it on in there, and then I believe this is the first time that we can start. Oop. Polarizer mixer, electric blast furnace. So we do need electric blast furnace to be able to do that up into steel again. So, not entirely surprised. But that opens up some stuff recipe-wise for us. Let's see if we can find it. Blast furnace. The arc furnace uses a little bit of oxygen to smelt items in different fashions than furnace. You can use it to make easier wrought iron, double your glass, and gain access to annealed copper. You can also recycle various components and machines back to their original material. Lore. Previous versions had both the arc furnace and the plasma arc furnace. In that case, why not use one machine for both? Well, that's exactly what we thought. But we ultimately decided to remove one of the 2 plasma recipes, and then the other plasma recipe. In short, the plasma arc furnace is gone. RIP. And that gives us another bucket, this time with oxygen in it. We won't. The F4, let's look at the gallium arside. So this gives us both some more of that, but many materials going forward cannot be smelted directly from any ores. They are instead obtained as byproducts from processing other ores. Gallium and arsenic are among these materials. For gallium, you must range from the worst to best, compromising difficulty to yields. Electrolyzed salafrite for a low chance of dust. Note that you will lose out on direct smelting value. That's because it'll basically take it apart. And so if you'll use like 4 input and you'll get 2 and 2, so you'll lose out on the tin that you can do. You can put crushed bauxite into a chemical bath. Note, this requires sodium persulfate. Obtain it as a byproduct of salafrite ore processing in the thermal centrifuge or the centrifuge. For arsenic, you will have to mine and centrifuge religar. So, as I believe we have more arsenic, what do we have more of in there? We have more arsenic, yeah. So, I'll grab the gallium just so I can do a couple more mix-ups there. But that will let us get our diodes with an easier recipe where we take that, make it into small piles, and we mix that with liquid glass. So we do liquid glass and copper wire, and we can even get the annealed copper wire, which is probably what I'm going to do so I can get 2 diodes per one of these, because annealed copper wire is literally just taking that and stuffing it in the arc furnace with a little bit of oxygen. So, simple recipes to make our world a whole lot easier. I think that about wraps it up, because we got that one. Yeah. Guess we can read the arc. We read the arc furnace, we read that. Wasn't else anything else I'm thinking we were waiting on. If there was, I've completely forgotten what it was. So, yeah, no, that should be it. That is it. Because I think the only thing I was going to do is try to show a recipe off in here, and we can do that with the copper. As maybe a stack should do. And you'll see that it uses only a little bit, but now we've got our annealed copper, which will double some of our recipes, particularly this one. And I think we can just take straight glass. I don't know how much this one's going to be, but we do need to get some more copper. Wires made up for that one. And then we can get that stuff out, make some glass in there, and we can show off that diode recipe. Do I need... That should allow us to make the rest of these up. It's pretty exciting because we're getting closer and closer to those MV circuits that I think next time we might be able to get to it. But we've got glass, 1. So there's 2. Take the glass tubes out. We want to make it not there, tiny piles like that. So we'll just dump a bunch of those in there. Now what else were we waiting for? We were waiting for something. Oh, that's right, we need the annealed copper wires. Now we can dump off our bucket. We've got our extra bucket. Dump out 1 more there. And then let's do 1, 2. Because you take those, dump them back in to get our... You can go straight through, but I believe the recipe takes just about as long. Dunk that out. Copper wire in, and that will be 1 diode. And it does look like it takes us a full 20 seconds per craft. But then once we've got those diodes, we can look at getting closer. Oh, that is actually super close. We could even do that right now. Let me check how much time we got. We're at 40. Yeah, I think we're gonna end this here. We can then go and do some other stuff later with the next one that we were planning on doing. And I can prep a bunch more stuff so we can actually do something with it rather than just simply make the circuit. So thank you guys here for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.